Merhaba. Nusilsinus. Are you good? What a beautiful video we just saw. Yardım, I need your help today. When I say 1, 2, 3, I want you to go whoosh. Can you do that? Yes? 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Excellent. You know, as I was getting ready to come here, my wife and I, we would have this conversation, and she would look at me and she would say, "You're an introvert, you're very shy. You're uncomfortable in big crowds, and you don't like being the center of attention. These things are all true." So she would say to me, "Tell me why. Why do you want to go here? Why are you so excited about talking with those people?" And it's a great question. What she's really asking is, what is your purpose? Your aspirational reason for being? What causes you to move and provide benefit to people? Why do you do what you do? And why does it matter? And my answer to that question every time is very simple. I love doing what I'm doing. I love being here with all of you because I believe, and science supports, that being purpose-driven causes organizations to dramatically outperform and causes individuals to be happier and to be more successful. And I believe, and science supports, that being purpose-driven causes us to create change for ourselves, our organizations, and the world at large on a cellular level, on a biological level, on a DNA level. And in a world where we have tragedy and violence all around us, and where business sometimes does more bad than good, and where we often feel more stressed and anxious than ever before, this conversation about how to be more purpose-driven, about how to get your mind full of purpose, it's too important not to be having. So we're going to do 4 things today. Number 1, we're going to share, all of us, an experience of what it's like to have our mind, our organizational mind, filled with purpose, with love, with cause. I'm going to share with you the evidence that being purpose-driven causes organizations to perform better. Third, I'm going to share with you the science, the biology, the psychology, why being purpose-driven causes organizations to outperform. And fourth, last, I'm going to share with you simple steps that you can take today to help your organization perform better and to help your people be happier and live longer. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Next time, more. More, yeah? So, for the next 30 seconds, I want you to do 2 things. Number 1, relax. Take a deep breath. Maybe close your eyes if you like. And while you're doing that, I want you to think of the moment when you were most in love or the moment when you were most passionate about a cause. So for the next 30 seconds, just feel that moment, live that moment, be in that moment. And when we're done, I'll count down from 3 to 2 to 1, and we'll bring our attention back to the center of the room. So for the next 30 seconds, relax and think of the moment when you were most in love or when you were most passionate about a cause. Let's begin. Three, 2, 1. How many of you right now feel physically different, biologically different, from just filling our mind with purpose and love? I know that I do. How many of you believe that if our mind was coming from this place, we would make decisions differently? How many of you believe that if your mind was filled with love and cause and purpose, you'd perform better and have more energy? What if we can align our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs behind what matters most, behind love and cause and purpose. Some organizations have been doing that, and the evidence is unequivocal. They perform better. People drive performance, and purpose drives people. And for the next minute, I want to share with you just a little bit of the evidence that being purpose-driven causes organizations to outperform. And as you watch this video, I want you to do two things. Suspend judgment. Just let the information come in. And number two, ask yourself, what if? If this information is accurate, what does it mean for me? What does it mean for my organization? Every time that I watch this movie, I start to laugh. Several months ago, I walk into a room, it's filled CEOs, and I play a video very similar. And as I'm playing it, I watch one man, and his face gets very stressed out. He furrows his brow, and then he types on his computer, and then he raises his hand, and he looks at me, and he says, "Do you know all those numbers are accurate?" He had checked my numbers. He fact-checked me. And then he raised his hand and he looks at me and he says, "Tell me why. Why do organizations that are purpose-driven perform so much better?" So what I wanted to share with you next are a couple of the science, the psychology, the biology, the mindset behind why purpose-driven causes organizations to outperform. And the first thing you need to understand is psychology. On the screen is Maslow's hierarchy. And Maslow said something very simple. As our lower level needs for food and safety get met, we look for higher level things, for love, for self-esteem, for actualization, for love and cause and purpose. And in a world where we're rapidly developing, you, me, all of us, our customers, our employees, we're all looking for something more than just products and features and benefits. We're looking for purpose. The second thing to understand is the biology behind this. There's many parts to our brain. Two of them are the neocortex and the limbic brain. The neocortex is responsible for rational thought, spreadsheets, analytics, the things we do really well in business, that hard thinking, but it doesn't make decisions and drive behavior. The limbic brain is responsible for feelings and emotions. It has no connection to the ability to communicate, but it does make decisions. So think about that. Our businesses are good at talking about our whats and our hows, products, features, benefits, things that go on a spreadsheet. But what our employees and our customers are looking for is purpose. And what they make decisions based on is feelings and emotions, which are driven by purpose. Now, there's one more thing to understand, a mindset. And that is that we are determinative. Science says we come into the world, we have certain DNA, and therefore we're pre-programmed. We're likely to have breast cancer, or we will have a certain kind of personality. But there's a brilliant man named Bruce Lipton, and he was a scientist, and what he discovered is that the culture, the medium, is what determines the outcome. We are determinative. What do I mean? Every day we go through the world and we feel something like love, and it feels good. We can feel that on a physical level. Or we feel fear because our boss walks in and says, "Work harder, do more." When that happens, our mind floods our body with chemicals, totally normal. And those chemicals go through the culture, our medium, which is our blood, and we feel different. physically different. And when you do that, you start to create a change on a cellular level. Now take a step back from that. What's in our mind most of the time? Our work. That's what we're doing all day. We wake up, we go to work, we spend our time there. So as businesses, we have a choice. Do we lead with fear and stress and anxiety, which is what business is known for? Or do we lead from purpose and cause? And those organizations that are leading from purpose and cause are performing better. And scientifically, those people who lead from there have a chance to create change on a cellular, a DNA level. 1, 2, 3, whoosh! You'll have one more chance to try that later. Just one more try. Hopefully everyone will join. So we have one thing left to do today. We've talked about why being purpose-driven matters. We've talked about the numbers that prove it. We've talked about the science behind why it works. So we need to talk about the simple steps that we can take today to activate, embed, and align purpose as the driver of our organizations. So I go out and I talk with businesses and I talk with leaders and they say, we get it, purpose matters. We have millennials. They care about purpose. And they say, and we wrote this beautiful statement. It's up here on the wall. What do we do next? And it's a great question because business schools, they don't teach us about purpose. They don't do it. And for business, what's the purpose of business? They always said the purpose of business was business. We make money. But the purpose of business is to achieve a higher level cause. And in order to do that, in order to drive your business based on purpose, to achieve performance, you need to take the first step, which is to design it in, to create a blueprint. Every business has systems and tools and processes that drive how we make decisions and drive how we create key performance indicators. And as HR professionals, you hire people. Do you hire people based on purpose and what theirs is? Do you go out and do you talk with your employees and understand and reward them for achieving their purpose? Or is it something else? And if it's something else, are you really purpose-driven? So step number 1 is to design it in. You need to look at all of the systems, tools, and processes in your business. And if you did that, you might end up with something like this. On the left are typical HR functions. And on the top are the principles, the steps that we're talking about today. And it becomes a blueprint. Purpose is not soft. It's very specific. And just like strategy, you can create a very specific blueprint so that purpose becomes what your organization's mind is full of. So you create a blueprint. You're an architect. You create that. And then you need to have people make the house. And if the people making the house don't make decisions and solve problems based on the blueprint, you don't get the house, right? So step number 2 in our journey to activate purpose is to build it into decision-making and problem-solving. There's a company called Ford. They make cars right here in Turkey. They have a brand called Lincoln Continental. 5 years ago, the press says, get rid of the brand. The cars are no good. They don't sell enough. Who cares? Get rid of them. And Ford said, no, we're going to solve problems and we're going to make decisions based on purpose. So they go out and they talk to their customers and they say, what do you want? You know what their customers said? They didn't say, fast, vroom. What they said is, we want to experience the world. We want meaning, cause, purpose. And so when Ford started to design their next car, they went to their designers. And they said, if you're looking at a product or a feature or a benefit, don't ask if we'll make more money. Don't ask how much it costs. Ask one simple question. If you were driving in the most beautiful place on earth, maybe the E5 highway right here in Turkey, would that product or feature help you experience the world? They made their decisions. They solved their problems based on purpose rather than profit. And the result? 3 years in a row, 10% growth when they were nearly dead. This year, luxury car sales in America down. Lincoln Continental up again, 10%. Being purpose-driven matters. So you've designed it in, you have a blueprint, you're living it, you're making decisions based on purpose. What do you do next? You need to create awareness so that it's always top of mind, so that when people have a problem to solve, they go, purpose. We need to empower people to experience the world. How can you do that? In HR, you talk to people, you hire them. Do you ask them what their purpose is? Do you tell them what your organization's purpose is? When you reward people and you do performance reviews, do you do that based on purpose or some other metric? There's opportunities everywhere. When you start a staff meeting, what if you started the staff meeting by telling the organization's purpose and then asking people a simple question? What does this meeting have to do with achieving the purpose? Almost immediately, it changes the conversation. Almost immediately. So think of all the places where you communicate and communicate from purpose. Now, the second thing, very important. We get what we measure. We're business people. We like numbers and spreadsheets, right? They drive behavior. Do you measure purpose? And when I talk with most CEOs, they say, that's crazy. You can't measure purpose. And in HR, what do we measure? Attrition, retention, how fast we hire people. And those are all very interesting numbers, but they don't drive behavior because they don't connect on a feeling level, on an emotional level. So what we need to be thinking about is how do we measure how inspired people are? And we need to be thinking about how do we measure whether we're making decisions based on purpose. And we need to be thinking about whether our organization's systems, tools, and processes are aligned behind purpose. And we need to be thinking about whether they have the resources to achieve the purpose. And if you did, folks, people are already doing it. It might look something like this, which is a net purpose score, which shows the organization's ability and energy to change, to grow, to overcome challenges, because the employees are ready to move. And that's what we're all looking to do. So you have a blueprint, you're living it, you're making decisions, you've created awareness. There's one last thing to do. It's the personal, it's emotional that connects. Now think about how as businesses we communicate. We communicate from the outside in, from the what. So if we go to hire people, very common, we say, we'd like to hire you. We offer good money. We have good insurance, our whats. Then we talk about our hows. We have fun as a team. We work hard together. Right now, if I'm hearing that, I'm getting a spreadsheet out, and I'm comparing to all the other companies, right? There's no inspiration. There's nothing that differentiates. What if, in that circumstance, you talked from the inside out and you said, we empower people to experience the world? And what if you've designed it in so that you can then tell them, that's why we empower you as our team to experience the world, because we know if you do that, you will help us make better products and share our purpose with our customers. We also have fun and we pay just as much as the other guy. Would you like to join our company? It's a very different conversation when you talk from your why, from your purpose, from the inside out. And just think about how powerful it would be if you asked somebody, what is your purpose? And does our organization help you achieve it? And this is the organization's purpose. How does your role connect to our purpose? When they understand that, much more happens. Last chance. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh! Ah, much better. Thank you. Teşekkürler. Very bad Turkish, but I try. When I talk with CEOs, they say, we're so busy. We have too much to do. I can't do any more. Tell me one thing or two things that I can do. Simple. Make it basic. Otherwise, I can't do it. My answer is very simple. Number one, believe. Believe that purpose-driven causes organizations to outperform, and believe at the difference that you can make for the people, for you and your employees. Number two, commit to it. Simply commit to being more purpose-driven in the next year. You see, my experience is the moment that you accept purpose as the reason for your organization is the moment that your organization will find a way to achieve it. What if we, all of us, right here today, simply did one thing? We committed to being more purpose-driven. Imagine the world that we'd create. Imagine the difference that we'd make in our organizations. Thank you.